think that is just an insult to every single woman in your family. Why don't you want a kid to give motherly love to? That don't make sense. You want to be, oh, I want to focus on my career and travel. Yeah, when you hit 40, you're going to want kids. Stop saying y'all don't want kids. That's a damn...
9 months ago, I posted this video, this man talking about child-free by choice, regretting why they will not have children when they clock the age of 40, saying that why don't you want to have children, blah, 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 and just yarning dust. I'm going to put the video description down, the video link down in the description box, so you can go watch it because there were a lot of interesting stitches as at then. But today we are talking about it again because I found an interesting stitch on it and some women were like trying to talk about it, so I want us to watch it together. So I'm going to go ahead and share this interesting stitches for you all to watch to the end. We'll watch it together, okay, and I'll see you at the end of the stitches.
All their shit in addition to all of my shit, only to go...
I stitched this particular... Hey, this is my first official video and I'm trying to do this before the end of the month because I told my brother I would. But I chose this stitch because I really connected with both those ladies. Go watch their videos because they spoke the truth. I grew up in a family of 8 brothers and sisters, plus my mom and my dad, of course. But I was always taking care of my mom's kids. And I had to get my little brother and my little sister ready in the morning most of the time myself and get myself to school and fed by myself a lot of times. And sometime through my little sister's first grade year, and I'm only in the 3rd or 4th grade, I don't know. But she decided she didn't want to go to school at all anymore. So I literally have to fight her out the door and into the school every morning. At some point, the teacher saw me and she was like, no, this is unbelievable. And she spoke to my mom and it stopped. But I grew up like that. Then I went from taking care of my mother's kids to my sisters and my brother's kids, my cousins, and I have a lot of cousins, and their kids, because I don't have any kids, so I'm the resident babysitter. So I end up being like this professional babysitter at some point in my life. And I just had to get out of it. So hence joining the Army. I had to be out. So I joined the Army, I leave, and I'm taught all this stuff in the military. So I become an effective packer, an effective traveler, effective at a lot of things that now I can add to being a professional babysitter. So it works out well for me to be a mom because I can do that stuff really quickly. But the one thing I thought about before I had my son was I don't want to have kids. And I had talked to my husband about it, my first husband. And we agreed that he would be the stay-at-home dad. He was going to take the time off of work. He was going to be changing the diapers. He was going to be doing the grunt of the work because I was going to go to work and finish doing my career stuff. And he already knew I had a lot of goals. I was going to jump on him and I was going to do that. He promised me he was not going to leave me with no kids and be by myself, being a single mom doing it on my own. I was like, I don't need to be doing this. And crazy foreshadowing for my life, he had his accident about 2 weeks later, completely forgot about me and our son and our agreement, and lost his memory. It is not like the movies, but yeah, he's doing well. But decide, don't have no kids.
You're gonna want kids.
First of all, how you gonna sit here and tell me what I do or do not want? How you gonna tell women as a whole demographic what we do and do not want? You don't know us. And honestly, there are a myriad of reasons as to why people might not want to have children. Why women specifically, since that's who we're talking about right now, don't want to have children. I'm gonna go ahead and list off a couple of reasons as to why I personally don't want to have children. I struggle every fucking day to take care of my damn self. I don't want to spend money on anyone who's not me. I have no desire to deal with tantrums in the fucking grocery store. Speaking of the grocery store, I don't want to have to think about picking up somebody, packing up all their shit in addition to all of my shit, only to go to the grocery store and have it take 2 times as long because I am focused on not losing my kid. No. I don't want to go to Little League practice. I don't want to wake up early on the weekends. I want to be able to fucking night. I want to be able to go on a vacation or go on a date and not have to think about finding a babysitter. And those are all reasons that have nothing to do with fucking pregnancy. I don't think I have the desire to be pregnant. I don't want my nose to swell. I don't want my feet to swell. I don't want my teeth to fall out. I don't want to find out later after I had a baby that you have to put on a freaking ice diaper, or the fact that when you're breastfeeding that you can literally get a milk duct in your armpit. No, none of that sounds fun to me. And we haven't even talked about the fact that you're pushing a whole 8-pound person out of your... No. Now, women in general don't owe you any reason as to why they do or do not want to have children. But the fact of the matter is having kids is work. And if you're not 100% sure that you want to put in the work to have a child, then you have no business having a child. They're a whole ass human being that has to go throughout this life on their own with adequate preparation. And they don't deserve to be traumatized because I didn't actually want them to be here. They didn't ask to be here, and that's not fair to them. So no. And I genuinely believe that the only people who are concerned about dying alone and having someone to wipe their ass when they're in their nursing home, it's men. It is 100% men. And let's not even get me started on the fact that having children for the sake of ensuring that you have somebody to take care of you when you die, or when you get old enough and can't again wipe your ass, that's selfish. That is incredibly fucking selfish. On top of the fact that there is no fucking guarantee. It doesn't matter how good of a parent you are. There is no guarantee that your kid is going to even want to wipe your ass when you get old. Personally, the reason I don't want kids is because I want to live my life for me on my own terms without having to consider anybody else. And if that makes me selfish, then hell fucking yeah, I'm selfish. But I am not going to bring a child into this world that I didn't actually want to be here. And if that makes you upset, well, tough titties. I don't want to have to think about picking up somebody, packing up all their shit in addition to all of my shit, only to go...
I stitched this particular part because I remember after I had my daughter, my oldest, I remember I finally got her home. I was excited and happy. And I remember I had to go to just the gas station for something small and minor. I realized that I could no longer just pack up my shit and go. Like, I realized I can't just pick her up and go. Like, I had to get, the carrier to go to the car seat. I had to get her bag. Like, there's all this shit that you have to get. And that's when I realized I'm responsible for somebody else and I'm a mother. No, when they took her out and laid her on my stomach, when I was in the hospital with her, when I was trying to learn to nurse, when I was dealing with everything prior to then, it really didn't dawn on me that I was a mother and I was responsible for another human being until I had to leave my place just to run a 5-minute run. And I had to take her and all her shit with me. If you are not ready or if you don't want that responsibility, don't do it. She couldn't have said more truer words. Just felt like, wow, I remember that moment. That's when I became a mother. That's when it hit me that it was no longer about me anymore.
That is just an insult to every single woman in your family. Why don't you want a kid to give motherly love to? That don't make sense. You want to be, I want to focus on my career and travel. Yeah, when you hit 40, you're going to want kids. Stop saying y'all don't want kids. That's a damn...
If the women in my family feel insulted because I don't want to get pregnant and I don't want to be a mom, that sounds like a personal problem on their behalf. And can I be honest? Everybody don't need to have kids. Every woman is not going to bear that motherly love. Every woman is not going to be a good mom. Even if a woman can give motherly love, it's her choice to whether she does or does not want to. Yeah. I'm going to put it to you like this. There are so many things that you can do. You can learn another language. You can learn a new hobby, learn a new skill. You can go to school to become an engineer. But you might not do it simply because you don't want to. Mm-hmm. Just because you can do something does not mean that you have to. It doesn't mean that you need to. Just because some of us have the ability to get pregnant, it doesn't mean that we need to. What is it with women being 40 years old and men assuming that at that point women will regret whatever life decisions that they made? What is it about the age 40 for a woman? I've had women that are 40 years and older tell me that their choice of either not getting married or having kids was the best decision that they could have made for themselves. I know that y'all like to fear monger us into feeling like we need to do things, but that does not scare us anymore. We are not afraid of being alone. If anything, being alone is really peaceful. It's a lot of solitude. Somebody made a good point in a video that I watched the other day, and it was about how people tend to really question women who don't want to have kids. But y'all don't question women who do have kids the same way. You have women that are 40 with kids that regret having kids. Let's talk about that. Y'all talk about whether we're going to regret not having them, and you have mothers that regret having them. And some of them are encouraging childless women to not have children. And I don't think that having kids is a bad thing, but it's life-changing. And nobody should have kids because the women in their family wants them to. Nobody should have kids because they don't want to be alone when they're older. Basically, your reasoning or what you're alluding to why we should have kids are not valid reasons to why we should have kids. Y'all want us to have kids because you think that that's our duty. You think it's our job. You think that our value lies in us being a mother. The crazy thing about it is, as much as y'all encourage us to become mothers, y'all disrespect women when they do become mothers. You refer to them as used cars. Y'all will refer to women who have kids as damaged goods or an item that's on a clearance rack. And then you refer to their kids as baggage. No matter what we do, y'all are always going to have an issue with it. The obsession and the fascination that y'all have with talking about us is wild.
If you're still here, kindly put your thoughts, your comments, your opinion, your suggestion down in the comment section. If you have time, go and watch the one I posted 9 months ago. It was an interesting stitch and it was an interesting one as well. Just click the link down in the description box and it will take you directly to the video. We know that men are not happy when they see a woman that they cannot control, a woman that decided that this is the kind of life I want to live and doesn't have to evolve them or involve them. They are angry, they are forced to look at you in a disgusting look and be like, what is your problem and all of that. They don't even understand whereby women don't center their lives around them. Because what is it about you telling a woman that decides that she doesn't want to have a child for the rest of her life, that she will regret it when she's 40 years old? What about the ones that had their children when they were in their 20s, in their early 20s? And many of them are happier when they're in their 40s. How many of them are not regretful when they're in their 40s? Are you even talking about them? If you listen to the first stage of this video, she was talking about how men are the first person to look down at women that have given birth before. They refer them as used cars. Where I am, part of the world where I am, they refer women at after one. If you have like a child, 2 children, after one, you're no more in town anymore. You've given birth already. Like they see you as you've dropped one already. Oh, don't mind that woman. Don't mind that girl. She has given birth. Oh, she has given birth. Like they see you as someone that has low value. So why then are you pestering or angry at women that say they don't want to be looked that way? They don't want to even have a child, not even because of it. They don't just want it because they don't want it. And you are angry because you are seeing that there are some set or group of women that are choosing to choose themselves first before you, to do things that will make themselves happy before you. And men are they're just angry. They're just angry. And I feel like it's bitter men and men that they feel like they cannot get hold of women. They're the ones that would say child-free by choice, women are this or that, are this or that. See, a lot of people don't want to have children, and let it just stay like that. In fact, it is not compulsory. If a woman decides not to have children, it's not compulsory, because the ones that even decided to have the children, that they say they want to have the children, most of them are doing it for their selfish reasons. They are doing it because they just want to be selfish. Most of the time, they don't even have important things why they want to have this child. They don't want to have it just because society says you must have a child after you get married. So they just decide, okay, let's just do this thing. You're not even thinking it through. And so when you see a woman or men, but mostly women, they come from mostly women. They don't even come from men. Because there's some men that will say they don't want to have children. They don't come for them. They come for the women because they see that women, most of them see that women, the only reason why you're a woman is for you to reproduce. So if you're not saying you don't want to reproduce because you can, they see you as being selfish. They see you as you're useless. Because the only reason why they are seeing you as a woman is for you to reproduce, and now you're saying you don't want to reproduce. They have a problem with it. So when a man is talking about, I don't want to have a child, I don't want to have a child, nobody is concerned about that. But once a woman opens up her mouth and say, I don't want to have a child. It's like, hey, you don't want to have a child. There's a problem. And what is it about 40? Because they've made this 30 years and 40 years to scare a lot of women that, okay, before you should have your children before you get to the age of 30. That is why you see young girls in their early 20s rushing into marriage and trying to give birth to all their children. You see some giving birth 3 children under 3 years, 4 children under 4 years, just because they don't want to clock the age 30 so that they will not be able to reproduce anymore, because that's what society tells them. Because at the end of the day, most of these women tend to regret their decision. They tend to hate their life. They tend to see that their lives are backward compared to their friends that choose themselves first. And this whole giving birth 4 children in 4 years, 3 children in 3 years, sometimes I don't even know. So I just feel like women that does that, they might not even love your body, because your body has not even healed from the first child. So why are you doing it immediately? Sometimes I just feel like people are doing it because they are in a race. They don't want to get to a certain age. Because I've asked some people that did it before, and they were like, oh, I'm going to clock 30 very soon, and I want to have all my children before I reach 30. Selfish reason. It's not that they really want the child. It's just like, why won't I give birth? I can give birth, so why won't I give birth? I'm married, why won't I give birth? And now you see women that they've sat down to reason the reason they don't want to have a child, and these men are having issues with it. Let me know your thoughts about this video down in the comment section. And thank you all so much for sticking around to this point. Let me know your thoughts. If you've watched the video 9 months ago, that means you've been following me. You're an OG on this channel. Kindly subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Okay, and turn on the post notification bell so you can get notified when I upload another interesting video like this one. All right, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.